Be honest. Do you judge someone based on how clean their home is? Follow-up question to your post. Hygiene affect things, like if a person has a funk to them, but their house is clean, does the opinion change? And vice versa. If someone has impeccable hygiene, but their house is dirty, does it change? For example, I live with my roommate. We are both very clean when it comes to person hygiene. But our house is kinda a mess because we both work 45 hours a week and neither of us have the energy to clean constantly. Kinda. Not just with their house, but more like how is their hygiene situation overall, and in not that super clean guy or anything, so my expectations are not that high either. It just shows how a person respects himself, herself, and the environment as he lives in. Basically, I would respect more to a person who tidy around than put himself, herself together. That's all. P.S. Bro, I hate English. Why can't you come up with a word to cover all she thing altogether? Nah. Especially if it's a close friend. It's very rare that someone's messy because they actually like being messy. More often than not, it's something underlying. Hyper clean houses. Some people do just like being really clean, but for some people it's a major anxiety. And I'm not about to make something worse because they left a sock on their floor or something. Even less if they have kids and whatnot. Sometimes life is messy. Oh well. Certainly. There's a spectrum of cleanliness that's usually reflective of a person's lifestyle or current situation. Spotless homes can be as alarming as those mired in chaos. An unexpected visit might reveal a scene of life in progress, work projects strewn about, dishes from last night's creative cooking endeavor, or toes scattered by imaginative play. Life happens and a home often captures its rhythm, to some degree, but not entirely like it's massively important. I'd say the vast majority of people will be opinionated about other people's homes for various reasons: cleanliness, decor, size, smell, etc., to name a few things. I'm sure people do when they visit my home. No biggie, it's pretty much the norm. I do pride myself on how clean I keep my sex swing though. You could eat your dinner off it. To a degree. If it's a little cluttered, I could not care less. If it's so filthy that I wouldn't dare eat or drink anything you give me, you better believe I'm judging. Gap between a small pile of open letters on the coffee table and a dirty cup in the sink, so I cannot literally move across this living room without stepping on something that shouldn't be stepped on. I'm not trying to be the mental health justice warrior, however it must be mentioned that most people aren't loving their messy situation. They aren't apathic to it either. They are ashamed. No one wants to live in a mess. No one wants to have depression or the inability to get it together. All that said, I'm not so much judging but more feeling concern for their well-being. Depends on what type of clean you mean. Cluttered with day-to-day use items and life. They're cool and I trust them a lot more than someone who has a spotless, immaculate house with everything in its place. Moldy and stinky or hoarding. And sad society is failing them because there's something wrong and they might need some help. So my feelings are of concern. Yeah. But not much. Things like dishes in the sink, toes blankets on the floor, clothes on bedroom floor, etc., etc. I'm not gonna judge at all. 'Cause that's how most homes are, especially with children. But if there's shit all over the place, the floor clearly hasn't been swept or mopped in a good while, food trash, etc., then I'm probably gonna judge you. Depends. I've been in some beautiful $1,000,000 homes that are packed, and some trailers that are spotless, and vice versa. If there's a small path between the clutter, yeah, I tend to judge. If it's messy, not so much. If it's completely spotless, I will just avoid that situation. Most of this is based off of homes I've had to enter for work. I judge them if their home is super tidy, or if it's gross. I don't mind books and toes and half-finished projects and laundry that needs to be folded, etc., because that's just life. But if there are days-old dirty dishes on the table, the toilet is grimy, dirty laundry on the floor, etc., that bothers me. I judge the state of their home by the state of their home. But I don't judge the quality of their character based on it. Some of the messiest people I know have the cleanest homes, and vice versa. In my experience, it tells you very little about the person themselves. Yes, but like I'm talking about obvious mold growth on walls, all the unwashed moldy dishes, overflowing months-old trash and the like. Normal clutter, especially if living in a small space or have kids, and catching people on days they haven't vacuumed yet is whatever. If they invited me over for dinner, or an event, and they haven't straightened the place up for company, then yes, a bit. If it's not a planned visit at their home, then I don't care what it looks like. Unless it's a mental health red flag. If someone's home seems chaotic due to life circumstances, like a newborn baby or a recent move, that's one thing. Life happens. But if we're talking about chronic inattention to basic hygiene, then it's hard not to make some judgments. Yes, but I have a low threshold for what is acceptable. If the kitchen and washroom are clean, and there's somewhere unencumbered to sit, I'm good. It depends on whether or not they are a parent of small children. A kid-free dirty house is bad. A super clean house with children is bad. I grew up in a hoarding home, so my standards are low. That being said, when it's a hoarding type situation, I do get uncomfortable. My mental health often causes me to be fairly messy. This thread definitely has sucked to read. Only they're having a hoarding situation or living like a junior year college frat bro. Absolutely. I judge big time. Especially a dirty bathroom, toilet, tub and sink. Yep. It's a question of discipline and self-respect. Not that hard, and maybe not on how clean it is, but how dirty it is.